We have told you time and time again, this report is massive, almost 600 pages. But the question is, does it answer all of the questions out there? I-Team reporter Brian New has also spent a lot of time poring over all the pages, even talking with experts. He's live with us now. And Brian, I know you've noticed some important aspects of this case that are actually missing from that report, which sounds shocking when you're talking 575 pages.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this report is both detailed and expansive, but it's what's not in this report that some say are the answers they're still waiting for.
The law enforcement response to the mass shooting at Robb Elementary was a failure.
Nearly 600 pages, 273 recommendations, one overarching conclusion. The response by law enforcement was a failure.
Had the law enforcement agencies followed generally accepted practices in an active shooter situation and gone right after the shooter to stop him, lives would have been saved and people would have survived.
The federal report on the Uvalde school shooting comes 18 months after the Texas House Committee issued their own report. Stacked side by side, the federal report, more than 7 times longer, gives a far greater detail account on what happened that day. But what the state report did include that is not in the federal report was information about the attacker, his family, his early life, and how he legally bought an assault rifle just days before the shooting. But what's not in either report, many of the victims' families want answered. As they listened to the news conference yesterday, Brett Cross, whose son was killed in the shooting, wanted to hear if criminal charges can be filed against those who were in charge that day.
They need to be. You know, Mariano Pargas, who was a county commissioner, was the acting chief of police that day. He had the information that there were children still trapped in there with the shooter, and he did absolutely nothing.
The U.S. Attorney General was asked about this on Thursday.
Well, I'm going to leave that question for the DA. Just to explain for everyone, the Justice Department only has criminal jurisdiction where federal crime has occurred. The shooter here is dead, and there's no federal criminal jurisdiction.
So we've reached out multiple times this week to the Uvalde County District Attorney to get an update on that criminal investigation and have yet to hear back. Doug, Nicole?
Thank you so much, Brian New. It's amazing as we go through it.
Sobering.
We thought we knew a lot.
Yes.
We're finding even more.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.